This week on Steel Horse Thunder. All right, man, I noticed you're between a rock and a hard place. We go to Greenfield for our first annual ride with a great cause.
The signs represent the kids of the families that we help support.
Not just a job for us, it's a personal mission.
Then we head west, young man, to cover a ride from start to finish for the fallen heroes and a special tribute to Steve Reeves.
You have no ride like this that you hear a lot about.
All that and much more when Steel Horse Thunder returns. We actually sweated today. Isn't that cool? And I know birds didn't just poop on this.
We are going on about the same speed. Slow.
Can you help me with that maybe?
Yes, I can.
Steel Horse is brought to you by Ladendorf Law with over 60 years experience in motorcycle and automotive injury cases.
If you're in an accident, seek medical attention right away. Many injuries can go undetected and manifest without a proper diagnosis. Visit Ladendorf.com to see 5 things to consider when you've been hurt. Ladendorf Law, approachable and on your side.
Every Wednesday night is Bike Night here at Beale Street Tavern on the southeast side of Indianapolis. Enjoy great drink specials and rock out with live bands performing both indoors and out. Here's who's playing this coming Wednesday.
If you're in an accident, the insurance company has incentive to settle quickly. Don't say anything and don't sign anything until you've contacted a lawyer. Visit Ladendorf.com to see 5 things to consider when you've been hurt. Ladendorf Law, approachable and on your side.
Hey, we're here in Greenfield, Indiana, very early in the morning, but we're here to cover the Cruisin' for Fuse ride. So let's go talk to the people, find out what Fuse is all about. Can you tell our audience a little bit about Fuse, what this stands for?
Sure. Fuse is Families United for Support and Encouragement, and we're a local nonprofit in Hancock County. We serve families who have children with disabilities.
Now, what is your role here?
I'm the executive director, and Amy and I started Fuse about 19 years ago when our kids were little. We both have kids with special needs, and so it's not just a job for us, it's a personal mission.
It's pretty cool to see all these people showing up, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Now, Ann, how old are you?
27.
7. And what does this mean to you to see all these bikes showing up?
I just like it when everybody takes off.
It's pretty loud, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Do you like to hear the motorcycles when they start roaring like that?
Oh, yes.
All right, Marcia, we're here at this ride. My goodness, registration at 7:30 in the morning starting and then leaving at 9 o'clock in the morning. This is an early morning. What gets you going this early?
Well, I enjoy the ride. I really do, and I like starting off in the mornings really good. This particular ride, I used to work for special education when it was still Hancock County Joint Services, and that's how I learned about the ride, and so we're excited to be here to support the group.
Very good. Now, that was the official answer. Now, literally, what gets you going? Is it coffee? Is it soda? What is it that gets you going?
I've already been on a 2-mile bike ride this morning with my dog, so I'm a morning person. I get up and get going, so.
Happy over there, she's like already been up and she's already done all sorts of stuff. How you doing this morning?
I'm working on it. I have a half a cup of coffee. I'm working on it.
Well, you know, I'm not saying you look sleepy or that you look tired or any of that. I'm just saying Miss Energetic over there she was really starting to wear me out. So I wanted to come over and talk to you. You look like we were going on about the same speed right here.
We are going on about the same speed. Slow.
I think everybody's slower than you. I was pretty impressed with you. Now I just don't even like you anymore.
Sorry about that.
You know what else works good? When you start going down the road, the wind starts blowing on you, you start to wake up.
A little bit. Well, at least when a bug hits you.
Hey, have you ever been on a ride where they're doing a silent auction and you go in there and it's kind of like, not a whole lot catches your eye? Well, this definitely didn't happen here, man. There's some really cool stuff at this silent auction. So how did I know she was going to go to this one? Can you tell our audience a little bit about CMA and Crossroad Riders and all that?
Sure, yeah. CMA it's a group, not all bikers. You don't have to be bikers, but it's primarily motorcyclists, and it's an outreach ministry for primarily the biking community.
Now you guys are also, I noticed you had the sign out there, bike blessings and stuff like that. Could you explain to our audience what that means, what a bike blessing is?
Well, sure. A bike blessing is where you come in and members of the CMA, actually you don't have to be a member as long as you're a Christian, believe in the Lord. Come in, you bless the bike. What we're actually doing is we're blessing the person, the rider, and blessing the bike for the Lord to watch over them, keep them safe, keep the road demons away from them, and mechanical problems for the bike.
Now this is your first ride you've put together, correct?
It is. We have we actually have a Fuse family who's a member of the Christian Motorcycle Association and came to us and said, we want to do a ride. And I said, great, do a ride. And they're like, no, we want you to do a ride. And I said, well, I don't know how to do a ride. So we're kind of doing a ride together. So this is our first one, and it's been a real experience putting it together. So.
Well, the motorcycle community is really good about doing everything in advance and, pre-register and all that. Can you tell me your personal experience with that?
I am just going nuts with, oh my gosh, I hope somebody shows up for this. So getting people to pre-register has been a huge challenge, and everybody I talk to says they're just going to show up.
Hey, Dave, I know you were kind of instrumental in helping put the ride together and everything else. How much work is that?
It's a lot of work. I mean, I was unemployed at the time, so it kind of worked out great. Then when I got a job, I'm actually working at Harley, North Side, so that kind of took a toll on it. I didn't get to help as much the past 3 weeks, so it does take a lot of time.
Nothing worse than a job to get in the way of things, huh?
Yes.
Sharon, can you explain a little bit about all the signs that we see out here?
The signs represent the kids of the families that we help support with Fuse because we support families with children with special needs. And these are all of the children in our families that we provide services to, programs to, support to the parents, training, education to help us navigate through the whole system of education.
People don't realize that we actually read a study that says that people who are raising child with special needs, it's 3 times more expensive to raise them from birth to age 18 than it is a typical child. Because there's a lot of expenses that people don't realize. It's not only just medical expenses, sometimes it's adapted vehicles that you can't get for less than 40 grand, and making accommodations on your home, or sending your child to a special treatment program or a special school, so there's a lot involved in raising a child with special needs. And so we like to reach out to families so that they know that they're not alone in that.
You guys have been standing here for the last 30 minutes, haven't moved. What is it? Are you guys Secret Service? FBI? What is it?
We're some bad people, okay? And we mean business. And we just got to stand here and look cool and scare everybody.
So what? Yeah, I was just getting ready to ask you, where are your sunglasses and what kind of gun do you use?
I don't know.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I do. If there's anybody out there that does have a bike and it's not in CMA, locate in that yellow shirt behind that photographer and contact him or get an information thing for him.
Good deal. Nice plug right there. Very nice plug. They said you had the coolest hat. What do you have to say about that?
It was a Christmas gift, so I'll wear it proud.
There you go. It is a cool hat. Can you wear it when you're riding?
I've never tried. It costs too much to lose it.
I hear you, man.
Let's look at Safety 101.
Welcome to Safety 101. I'm Eric Anderson. We're located again at the AGI Shorewood ABATE training site off of Oliver Avenue. Today we're going to talk about riding over obstacles. How many of you have been out there on the road, found a log or a stick in the middle of the road and you had to ride over it? What we're going to do today is talk about the proper procedure for riding over the obstacles. If you notice the obstacle, one of the things that happens when you ride your motorcycle over that, sitting on the seat, it is going to give you some compression on your spine. So you'll want to rise up off the seat a little bit, plant your feet firmly onto your footboards or to your foot pegs, raising your butt up off the seat. When you get ready to cross over the obstacle, roll on a little bit of throttle, to give a little bit of power to the motorcycle to get you up and over the obstacle. Then when you get on the other side of the obstacle, ease off on the throttle, roll the throttle back on again. The key thing about riding over the obstacle is you want to make sure that you're not rolling on the throttle when the back wheel is right on the obstacle. That way it will throw the obstacle out, and it will also help propel you over the obstacle. Now we'll ride it and show you how it's done.
If a truck hits me and flees the scene of the accident, I'm out of luck, right?
File a police report because you are entitled to compensation, even if the person leaves. There's a reason Ladendorf Law handles so many trucking accidents. Why Ladendorf? Just compensation.
You hear that little voice? It says, "Meet me where the road touches the sky." It's time to ride. And when you're on the road, make sure you have Rider insurance. Rider is focused solely on the motorcycle community and has been for almost 4 decades. We know what it's like to feel the wind on our face because we're riders ourselves. Come see the difference. Ride with Rider.
If you're in an accident, be sure that you are comfortable with your legal counsel. Statistically, you will do much better with a lawyer you trust. Visit Ladendorf.com to see 5 things to consider when you've been hurt. Ladendorf Law, approachable and on your side.
Hey, we have a lot of people ask us about the gadget closet and the newest things going on. Well, you know, we didn't get the show started until the middle of May, and we get all that information and all the new technology is always shown at the Motorcycle Expo in February. So we've had a lot of fans on Facebook asking us about that. That's the reason why we don't have it on this year. But I did run into Terry here at Indy West Harley-Davidson, and he's going to talk to us about one of the biggest selling headlights that they got going right now. Terry, can you tell us about the new lights that they come out with?
Sure. We've got what are called Day Brighter LED headlights for Harley-Davidsons, and they're stock on this model here, which is the CVO Road Glide Kustom. But you can add these to any Harley model that you own. They're much brighter, much safer, and they do last a long time. It's a great add-on, and it's this year's hottest product.
You know, you just can't be bright enough when you're out there on the road, you know. I always say, you know, I want them to see me, I want them to hear me, I want people to know I'm around, man. This looks like a pretty good product.
Oh yeah, it's excellent. Not only will it help you see better, especially on dark roads, but it's better to be seen with as well. And that works daytime and nighttime.
I appreciate you taking time with us, and guys, keep the comments coming on Facebook. Talk to us on Facebook. Let us know what you're interested in. That's what it's all about. We want to get you the information you want to hear. Hey, we're up here at Indy West. We're here for the Ride for the Fallen Heroes. We're watching the bike staging for this ride right now. We've already seen groups of people coming up here that are bigger than most rides that leave places, and they're just joining up here with a bunch of people. This is going to be a big ride, man. Let's go talk to some people. Let's have some fun, see what's going on here. All right, Brian, you have put together quite a ride. I know this is the 8th year now. You've been doing this a while. Tell us just a little bit about this.
We did this ride. We started doing it to honor our fallen soldiers, police officers, and firefighters. You have no ride like this that you hear a lot about. We started this 8 years ago. We had 50 motorcycles show up. Now we've expanded to what we have today.
Hey man, what kind of goofy character brings a car like this to a motorcycle ride?
My wife named it, and I don't know if she was naming it after me, but that's my assumption, and I'm going to stick by it.
All right. Now I know I see Birds on here, and I know Birds didn't just poop on this and this all happened. So how did this come to be?
I'm good friends with Bill Doss, who has the Freedom PT, and I've had this was just a standard electric blue PT Cruiser. We go to PT Cruiser shows together, and so I decided one year I wanted to take and upgrade a little bit. So I asked Bill who painted his car, and he put me in contact with Eric Ward, the painter, the airbrush artist who did this. We agreed on a price, and he says, I'll tell you what I want to do. He goes, I want some artistic freedom if you don't mind. Come back in 2 weeks. If you don't like what I've done, I'll sand it all down. I'll do what you want. I've never done that in my life, but I said, okay, I'm going to go this route. Came back and he had the passenger side all done. You know, it wasn't the final coat, but had enough detail on his net. It's like, you don't want to say no. So it kind of went from there, and the longer he had it, the more he started putting on it and getting more detail. And I said, Eric, you do realize I'm not paying any more than that? And he goes, that's fine. He goes, I just can't stop now.
I have no idea who this is beside me, but I'm sure glad I found her. What brings you out today?
Just this amazing ride and all these amazing people.
There's a lot of bikes out here today, isn't there?
A lot of bikes out here, yes.
Put your sunscreen on?
I don't know, can you help me with that maybe?
Yes, I can.
This is the booth for the Fallen Hoosier Heroes Memorial for Enduring Freedom. It's in Westfield, Indiana. My stepfather, who was a 22-year veteran, started this memorial back in May of 2002. Passed away in 2005. He made a handmade cross for each individual Hoosier that would pass away in the war on terrorism from both Afghanistan and Iraq. And as you know, in 2006 and 2007 was the surge. Indiana lost 100 Hoosiers in those 2 years. So after the surge, we weren't sure what we were going to do with it after his passing. So I took charge, redesigned the memorial, gave it the proper respect that it deserved, and dedicated it to all of our Gold Star families from here in Indiana.
What got you out here?
Actually, I'm a police officer as well, so I got contacted after I was on season 11 American Idol. They knew I was Indy's singing cop, so they asked for me to come out here since this is a tribute, to fallen officers, firefighters, soldiers. They just wanted me to be a part of it.
So what does it mean to you to do something like this?
Well, last year, it meant a lot because last year they honored David Moore, and he was one of my really close friends. And so this year, I don't know anybody personally that's on the list of the fallen this year, but just to be out here and involved in something like this to help honor those people and to help their families remember them, it's a great feeling.
We're going to have a 9/11 ride this year, only it'll be a little further back. It'll be on National Gold Star Mothers Weekend, which is September 28th down at American Legion Mall, and like to have all the riders come out and sign up to sponsor a fallen. It'll be on their bike. The name of that fallen will be on their bike, and they will ride for that individual. So we hope to see everybody out there.
That's a great idea, and I have a funny feeling you're going to have a lot of people show up. Now, this ride, I know we're gonna head over to the other side of town. What takes place there?
At the end, we have music from the Gypsy Project. We have food for everybody, and we give the families of fallen heroes awards that we have made up.
Good morning, Steel Horse Thunder fans. Mark Ladendorf here, sponsor of Steel Horse Thunder. I'm with Scott Schnitzer. Scott, tell us about your experience with Bubba Blackwell.
Bubba Blackwell. Well, there's a lot to experience with Bubba Blackwell. Now, for those people that don't know who he is, most people in the motorcycle community know him pretty well. He went out and he broke all of Evel Knievel's records. He is known for his motorcycle jumping. Suffered a very bad crash back in 01, I believe it was. And he started doing stunt riding, and the Buell company brought him on as a factory Buell rider. He was the only one here in America. And so he was doing stunt shows, and that's when I became friends with him. And just one thing led to another with him, and next thing you know, his wife and my wife got along real well, and we just became friends. And then I started going with him, and he started jumping again. Did his comeback jump at Harley's 100th anniversary up in Milwaukee. And then from that point on, he's been flying Harley through the air again. And so as time went on, I just started doing more and more with him, and then eventually got to the point where I started doing most of his MC work for him. I help him, put the ramps together and all that kind of stuff. But then I would also be, the obnoxious guy on the microphone when you have a guy on a motorcycle doing stunts and you have that guy hollering and screaming, saying, "Come on, give it up one more time for Bubba Blackwell," that was me. I was the one that annoyed everybody. So, that's what I did a lot of that with him over the years. So it's been 10 years now. He's got some new plans for his career now. Obviously, I have new plans with my career. Unfortunately, my career involves working weekends, and so does his. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do with him now, with doing the Steel Horse Thunder show. Obviously, we're both going to be working in separate places. But I tell you what, about the most fun I ever had working. As far as working goes, about the most fun you could possibly have. Hang out with a daredevil for a while. It's a lot of fun.
That's an incredible story, Scott. I'll tell you what, those kind of friendships are friendships that will last forever.
More than 50% of those who are injured and have a case never call an attorney. Why? Maybe they don't know who to call. Many are afraid or don't like lawyers, and others just want the whole thing to go away. Call me. I can help. Legal action may not be an option in your case, but it can't hurt to find out. Call Ladendorf Law. I will speak to you about your case. Ladendorf Law, approachable and on your side.
Now let's take a look at the Southside Harley-Davidson woman rider. I'm here with Morgan Buntin today. We got her bike sitting in front of us. Morgan, how long have you been riding?
About a year.
So is this your first bike?
Yes.
What made you pick this?
Well, I'm kind of small and I had never ridden a motorcycle before, so I was looking at, like the 250cc displacement class, and I really like the sport bike style better than the cruisers, so I went with the Ninja 250.
Well, when you get old like me, you'll start looking at them cruisers. Trust me on that one.
No, driving for over an hour, I'm starting to see the appeal of cruisers.
Okay, so you've been riding about a year now. Did you have any kind of formal training?
Yeah, actually, I took the MSF course before I even bought this bike, so I had my endorsement and everything before I even purchased this.
What about this year? You got any plans for any kind of long trips or anything like that?
I have a friend who lives in Oklahoma, so I might try and make a road trip out there. It'll probably be the longest trip I've ever made on this bike. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, you know what? It's all a matter of what you're used to riding and what your body is used to riding. I would make it about a half hour. That's about it for me. But you know what? This is what you ride. This is what you're used to, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to go out there.
Yeah, and like sitting on a couple of my friends' like higher displacement sport bikes that have like a lot more aggressive style seating. Like I don't know how they do it, because I'm lucky I'm able to sit up a little bit straighter on this guy than they are on theirs.
Well, I hope you got many, many years ahead of you of enjoying these motorcycles.
Me too. I'm so glad I started riding. I could never go back to a car after this, that's for sure.
That's what we like to hear. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Hey, now let's check out where the next cool event's going to be on the Ladendorf Law event calendar.
Fun. I enjoyed it. Being able to drive out this far and at least spend time with my dad and seeing my best friend. I haven't seen him forever.
All right, we just finished the ride. I saw you looking in the mirror, kind of primping, getting the hair all done just right. How was the ride?
It was great. It was great. I love seeing everybody, see the turnout.
Yeah, a couple hundred motorcycles running down the road with police escorts. Pretty cool, isn't it?
Pretty cool, and a great day for it.
I had fun. I rode here with my stepdad, and I've never been on a ride before. I've been around him for about 8 years, and I've never been on the bike except for last year. I first got on the bike, so it's been pretty fun.
Yeah, this is my first year involved in any ride. It's good to be a part of this one. He needed somebody to do shirts, and I do signs, shirts, and printing. And I got hooked up through a friend of mine, and he came in and we did all the Fallen Hero shirts. Yeah.
Right on. Well, you picked a great ride. If you're going to jump on board, man, you jumped on board at the right time.
Yeah, I was kind of worried, man, because I've never done anything like this before, but it's fun. It really is fun. I've had a good time so far. So
as a brand new, first time on a big ride like this, what would you say to somebody out there that's never done this before? What would you say to them?
If you're on a big ride like this, don't fidget on the bike without telling the person because you will get beat. Yes.
That's better than any safety tip 101 you'll ever hear right there. And I know this was all for the firefighters and the police and the military and everything else, but I know you guys actually took time out to actually honor Steve Reeves, who obviously is very close to us, and we're very thankful for that.
Well, you know, when you've got someone like Steve that comes along and gives of himself so freely and so above and beyond, that deserves to be rewarded. I don't care who you are or what your position in life is, that deserves to be recognized.
Indiana Fallen Heroes 8th Annual Memorial Ride honors and remembers Steve Reeves for all he did for us.
Who would be your hero?
It'd be my dad. He was in the Army, and he was the one that was behind me 100% when I started doing this, and he passed away the first year we did it. So it's strived me more and more to make sure I keep it going.
I think if I had to name one person, it'd probably be David Moore. He's an officer that we lost here in Indianapolis a couple of years ago. Knew him personally, grew up with his family, and as far as heroes go, military law enforcement, he's the top of my list.
I have two. My great-grandpa, and he was in World War II, and he had just passed away last year, and my dad, he is in the Air Force, and he just got back from serving for us.
John F. Kennedy, even though he was a Democrat, but that's okay. I think he was a Republican, really, but that was my hero. And all the other fallen officers that have died. There was another one when I was in captain in Marion County Sheriff's Department. Baker was under my command. Jason Baker, he was killed in action. That was a long night for me. I was up 26 hours that day, that night.
God's with me through everything. And you know, people, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, your family can always fail you at some point or another, but God will never fail you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
My hero would be my grandpa, Roy Young. He was in the Army, and he passed away 2 years ago, but he was he was just the greatest man I ever knew.
I think my grandpa, he served in Vietnam, and he died 5 years ago, and my uncle, who retired a few years back.
My hero, I'd say my kids, man. They give me a reason to live and a reason to go on. My kids.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Steel Horse Thunder. Remember,
it's not what you ride, it's that you ride.
We'll see you next week.
Steel Horse is brought to you by Ladendorf Law, with over 60 years experience in motorcycle and automotive injury cases.
Fill us in. Hey, we're up here.
I have no idea why I'm here, so.
You're just here for the ride.
Yep.
But you look a lot better on it than I do.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yes, you do. For a ride, we go to first annual. We go to Greenfield. We'll be right back then.
It's not what you ride, it's what you ride.
Cheyanne Basey, Cheyanne Basey from Greenwood, Indiana.
You can get that? I'm Scott Schnitzler, and you aren't. You're old Chevy Chase? Yes. I'm Chevy Chase, and you're not.